everyone, it's Shannon. I'm excited about today's tutorial because we're going to be going back to basics. Now, depending on your style, whether it's boho, modern farmhouse, or just even traditional, you kind of see the reoccurring theme of tassels in home decor. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make your own tassel, but not only that, I'm also going to show you how to make a tassel template so you can make as many tassels as your heart desires. Now, like I said, I'm excited to get started, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So I have a few things laid out here that I'm going to use to create my own tassel template. These are wood planks from the Dollar Tree, if you can believe that. This is a pack of 6, so potentially you could make 6 different sizes of these templates for only $1. I also have a ruler, a really sharp X-Acto knife, as well as a pencil, and then I have my countertop protected with a cutting mat. We're gonna start by working on our wooden template first. So of course I have my piece of wood from Dollar Tree. I marked it down to 4.5 inches long. Now of course, if you want a longer tassel, you don't have to do this step. You can keep it the full length, or you could even use different wood and make it even longer if you'd like. I'm using my handsaw and miter box to cut it down. It's a really thin wood, so it takes not too much effort at all. So here it is cut down, and now we're gonna mark some more measurements onto the wood. So basically I had measured down 1.25 inches from the top, and then I measured down another 1.5 inches from that so that I would have a little opening, and then I measured in 2 inches from each side. I'm using my really super sharp X-Acto knife to cut this little rectangle out. You want to be super careful. Make sure you're aware of where your hands are because you don't want that blade to slip and catch a finger. So take your time, make sure you have your countertop protected, and eventually you'll cut all the way through there and you'll be able to pop that piece of wood or that rectangle out from the template. And of course we have some rough edges, so I'm using some sandpaper and just hand sanding all of the edges down. It makes it nice because then you won't have any edges that are going to catch your string or your yarn that you're going to use to make your tassels. Now, if you don't want to mess with the wood version, you can also make a cardboard version. This is just the top of a box that I had on hand. I used those same measurements to cut it down to 4.5 inches long, measured in those 2 inches, and then down 1.25 inches, and then down another 1.25 inches to create the same size template, just on cardboard instead of wood. Now, of course, wood is going to last you much longer, but if you're just doing this for a quick project and you just need 1 or 2 tassels, this is a great way to do it too. Now let's make a tassel. I'm using yarn that is from Dollar Tree, but you can use all kinds of different materials to create tassels too. The first thing I'm doing is just pulling out some of that yarn and cutting a small section of it, maybe about 12 inches long or so. And that we're gonna save and set aside for later. Now we're gonna grab our template and our yarn, and we're basically gonna stretch it the length of our template over that section we cut out. Hold it tight at the bottom, and you're gonna wrap and pull it tightly around the top. And you're going to repeat this. The tassel I'm gonna show you here, I actually wrapped around 20 times. So if you want it more full, of course you're gonna wrap it even more than that. Less if you want a more bare looking tassel. And now we're just gonna cut the tail off. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna mess with that in just a little bit. Now we're gonna take that extra piece of string we saved and set off to the side earlier. We're gonna feed this underneath that first layer of string. You can see here that it just tucks right under. You're gonna pull it up towards the top and tie a couple knots in it. That is going to secure the top of your tassel together. Now we're going to work on that middle section. I'm pulling off quite a bit of string from the yarn and cutting it down to size. Doesn't have to be exact. We're gonna wrap that middle part. So you can see here, I'm feeding that around the middle where that open section is. You're gonna wrap it around and around and around until you're happy with the thickness of this section. You could, if you want, even take it off at this point and wrap it while it's not on the template. So it's kind of just your preference. I like doing it this way because I know all of my loops are gonna stay intact and it's not gonna kind of get a wonky look. So that's why I just kind of leave it on the template as I go on. Once it's wrapped, you can turn it around to the back and just tie a double knot to keep it all secured. And now we're gonna snip the bottom off and make sure this is the end that does not have the knot in it. This is the bottom, so you just cut it and this will fray those end pieces. At this point now, you can remove it from the template, and here is where you're gonna wanna do your fluffing and kind of make sure your size is the way you want it. And then I'm just taking my scissors and cutting the ends flush so it has a more finished look. This is a super easy way to make a tassel. You can see I left those ends long at the top, so you can now secure your tassel onto so many different things, whether it is a beaded garland like you see here, which I made out of jute. You can also attach them onto pillows or placemats. You can attach them onto earrings or clothing, gifts, so many different ideas. I hope that this tutorial inspired you. Please take a second and give it a thumbs up for me. And I have so many more DIY tutorials popping up on your screen that I hope you will check out next. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.